10-2. You should win 10-2. Yep. All you got to do is win 2, like a pistol and an anti-eco, and you're basically off to the races, but nothing makes sense anymore.
Well, the action's going to do the talking for us. A quick ice orb coming in defensively to slow things down. And there is a walk straight through it. And the cage was up as well. So a ramp control's been won here early on by Envy on their attack. And there's already 3 players for C9 on the A site ready to defend, but they don't have heaven control. And that's going to be lost here. The dash across, the updraft as well in case anyone's playing this position close. And right now, Envy are in a position to split this site. This is looking very dangerous here for C9.
Yeah, this is kind of problematic for them here, especially considering that they weren't able to get a few kills. Mitch, though, gets 2 kills with the Nano Swarm, by the way. So, sure, that's a thing. Uh-oh, watch out for that nade. It could actually blow up. Does a sizable amount of damage there against Akis, who's going to be pretty banged up. As Vice comes around the side now, he'll need to group up with his teammate in order to take this one, but the nade does do the job. They have to push this before the heal comes through, which I don't know if it's going to have an opportunity to do so here. Yeah, he's got 27 seconds, so not a lot of time left to work with. He's going to swing for this. Tens manages to pick up the first kill, but the weakened Sage is going to be a problem. Now it's just down to the last player, Mame, who is a player that our analysis said we needed to watch out for. Manages to pick up 1. He's going to be in a weakened battle here against Tez in 1v1. Goes for the tailwind. As he got the second kill, he's able to play a little bit of game of, oh, no, ring around the rosy. Isn't enough time? I believe he does. And he should be good to go here. Nope, he's not. Oh, he did enough. He did enough to win the round for Envy.
Yeah, that was a great tailwind play there. Just like getting that kill to reactivate the tailwind was so crucial. Oh, poor Tens. He was going to be kicking himself that he couldn't find the kill a little bit earlier on that, on Mame. And this was just a great attack though from Envy. I love how they took control of a ramp, how they managed to set themselves up for the split. It was really effective. I mean, it's kind of crazy that C9 did so well to make that look, you know, well, to put it down to a 1v1 for Tens. But regardless, moving into the next round, it's about dealing with the anti-eco. We've got a couple of shorties on defense. And we know again that C9 are always dangerous in these rounds, but you see the paranoia there for the B heaven position. And will it be good though? Vice, oh, he gets 1. That's some good damage on the follow-up, and the classic coming through from Mitch. So that's some good damage. And Tens is left here with this Sheriff.
That's enough.
There's only 3 players left, and he's got the paint bombs too, so he can definitely do some damage.
Okay, tags 1. He's going to look for the nade. It's going to actually bounce off. It's going to bounce off right over where they were. He banked that nade in a perfect spot to deal enough damage, but he couldn't follow up for the kill, so now that just leaves Relics with a shorty and no real options. He's got a wall in front of him and only this dark cover. So he's going to look to make a play happen here. Maybe charge up a little bit of this ult charge here. Look at this Sage on the rope. Sage on a rope. Called WCW for a Sage on a rope match. All right. Now, Envy 2-0 at the start of this. Continuing on their winning ways, DDK.
Yeah, absolutely. But we move into the buy round here, and things might take a pretty different turn as the pace. I'd imagine the pace will slow down pretty dramatically from Envy. We do have the operator ready to go there from Mame, so that's going to be really interesting. That's one of the big differences in playstyle between Envy and C9. Is obviously C9 running the Raze there on 10s. They don't really have, you know, Mitch who could play the Jet on the Jet. Instead, Mitch is on the Killjoy. So C9, they should have more strength on the defense with that Killjoy. So we'll have to see how they're able to activate it here as we see the mid position under attack by Envy, just the creep. They've got the typical Cypher lurk towards the A-ramp position, using their cages to sneak up towards A-ramp, which gives options to split ropes later on or to rotate back through sewers to hit A. If Finesse is able to really take over this A-ramp position, but he may actually get challenged. If they're just going to dry peek him, that's a big win, and they know that's a lurk now.
All that information has basically made Envy in kind of a bit of a pickle of a position because they now have to make a decision as to where they want to go. Alarm bot 2 pops off. So it tells them that more bodies are going to be located toward mid. As Calypso now will be descending the ropes here. Some distractions being made. And I think that player dropping down and making that noise. I don't think anyone heard it though, thankfully, if you are Envy, as a matter of fact. And
you can see they're getting as close to the tripwire as possible. They want to go A, but they have to give as little warning as possible. And there it is. They kill the trip, and now with as little warning as they can possibly give, 4 players swinging through the heaven position to go for that A hit. 20 seconds to go, though. We've been here many times, Alex, so far.
Yeah, this is familiar territory for Envy And even for C9, the way that they like to try and just take these sites at the last possible moment there, and now looking for another one. Mitch, though, stays alive in the corner. He was tucked away inside. He's going to be going up against Mummy, but Mummy wins that fight outright. He's only got a few seconds to work with. He's going to tailwind onto the site, but they're going to swing this instantly. They know he has no choice. He blades out. He's going to take this fight, though? No, he does take it, but it doesn't matter, as enough time was wasted. And had Ten swung the corner, he actually could have ended up winning that round out with like a second remaining.
Yeah, that was a really, really good attempt there, coming off of the spike with the Blaze, as you say. Could have won the round from that position. Nice little setup here, doing what they could to delay things. And again, we're going to see this be an interesting point of discussion, I would say. We saw this in the previous splits too. Teams right now in North America do rely a lot on having the tripwire in the ropes. It's like a really, really big deal because it allows them to have more players towards the B side of the map and buys them enough time to rotate out of those B stacks to get to the A side for the retake in time. So we really do need to see Envy trying to clear that trip as early as they can so that the defense cannot rest with that information. Oh, that's that jiggle. They're not going to expect Tens to be in this position, I wouldn't think, given that they just saw Vice there towards the pillar towards default.
He doesn't make any noise. He's going to push out now. They'll block over here toward ropes. As Finesse is going to be making movement toward that A site area. Mummy's going to be joining him as well, but there is activity now at the mid. One slow orb has been played.
Oh, I think there's actually a gap there for them to go ropes. So it sounds like they've walled off ropes, but they could actually still go ropes. I think that's part of the reason why the wall's been done in this way. That's actually really smart. I think C9 would be anticipating B, but in fact, it seems as though they have the read. We get the rotation already, so C9 are going to have a better rotation than Envy. Envy will have a lot to handle as they push once again into the heaven spot.
And the alarm bot's going to tag, but Mummy's there for the pickup immediately, so those nano swarms are now actually going to be a problem at all. If they were present on the map previously, it won't really matter all that much. Vice is going to get blown up by the nades, and the slow orb is going to connect as well. Oh, that was a beautiful placement there of that Sage utility. They'll have to just try and take and hold this site down, I should say. Relics and Tens do manage to pick up a few kills. A few seconds are going to be remaining as well, but the final elimination comes in as Caboose picks up the kill.
Envy looking really good at the moment. 3-1. They pick up that first gun round and force C9 into a eco scenario or a half-buy
That
position.
Sage wall was nice. And if I'm correct, it only pops up for us on spec, but it doesn't pop up for them, right? You only see your teammate Sage walls.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
so...
correct, yeah. So you hear the sound cue and you kind of hear where it is, and so I think they were trying to bait a rotation towards the B site.
Yeah.
And it didn't end up working out, but indeed it's a really cool little fake out.
That was a new change that they had added to the game, which was a good addition too, because it gives your teammates some intel as to where that is going to be placed. But now you get a lot of aggression here. And Finesse has no idea. He's not wise to this at all, but that trap wire might cause a problem. And there goes the camera. So they're going to back up, but they have taken a lot of space here. This is going to be that short plant. Vice was waiting around the corner to see if anyone was going to be there. Tenzo does manage to blow up one in the wall. They're going to be boxed inside.
Ooh, Akis was looking for the res, but oh, the rocket! Oh, how does it not get anything there? That's so unfortunate for Tens, but we have a big flank coming from Mitch. So Envy are in a position where they have to commit to this, but the longer this takes, the more time for the flank. Tens!
You are me. Tens now just needs one more kill here, potentially for the aces. Mummy's going to try and get away from here. Does okay one. That's the ace in round, although it doesn't end the round outright. Mummy's still going to be in a fighting position, but he only has 15. And he can't quite get the kill. Mitch swings in. So he gets the ace in round, but he doesn't get it to end it because the res was, was in effect. But man, that was just wild.
That was awesome from Tens. And
he knew Calypso was still there too, man.
What a beast here. And just like, again, they are stuck in this position. They're committed in. Oh, and he gets the second paint bombs because of that. It's actually so, he only has the one bullet there. He's trying to like line up the headshots. A little bit tricky.
How dare you have to reload.
During the res animation. This is where Mummy wins that because we actually get Mitch swinging before his teammates throwing the paranoia in. So I actually was afraid that they would blow that one. But 2-3, and that's a really important pickup there for Envy. And a quick dash up the A ramp position from Mame. And just getting that quick pressure in position. They're just going to run in with this one. They don't really have a buy, so They're going to try to capitalize out of the chaos here as they move towards the A site quickly. And, well, that is going to make things a bit difficult. The Killjoy lockdown is in place. And that's going to secure the round, I think. Oh, actually, Akis.
Okay.
They're forced to try to take it out, and you will get traded, Akis.
Oh, but while that was going on, they're going to go for the plant over here toward the B site. So much activity. They also used the detain. They made them think that they were just going to full send it over toward A, but they do get this spike down now, and Finesse can actually play this well. He's got a Frenzy. It's not the best gun for 1v2, but if he takes individual fights, it's fantastic.
There's a cam in the B side as well, the back of the B side, so they can eliminate some of the positioning of where he gets out. They're checking the cam just for a second there.
He didn't find it.
And so they've eliminated so many positions as to where Finesse can actually be. I think they understand exactly where he has to be right now.
Yeah, that's why they'll group up. I don't think that they're going to want to take these fights one by one. And Finesse, he backs away. They now have the intel. He's watching over the heaven, and he's aware of that too. That's why Finesse did not just try and swing that. He looked to delay it as much as he possibly could. But all that process of elimination that took place was great there for Cloud9 tying this up.
I think they actually thought that he was at the back corner of the site, because that's actually one spot that Cam couldn't see, as opposed to spawn. So he even had that extra element of surprise working with him there. But 3-3 was all tied up, and Mummy's going to bust out the operator again, and the same thing for Mitch. So I'm curious what the look will be like in this round, given that now C9 is starting to take some momentum. And we've got 4 players towards the A side of the map right now for C9, so they may be looking for an aggressive take of A ramp. Oh, I love this, the Ice Orb and Paint Bomb combo. So if Cypher was trying to place an aggressive cam, or if they're trying to contact out, they would have taken a lot of damage, but fortunately for them, they're okay. Them being Envy, that is.
So they put bodies over here toward B main. As Finesse continues to play lurk duty. Camera's still going to be active as well. 3 players for Cloud9 located more toward that A site, but here comes the push as Mummy gets inside. He will have blades too, but he doesn't connect with a single one though thus far, and he actually is going to get bodied there by Vice, who gets the headshot. But they are going to be on this site, and they still have enough to try and clear this out. Relic still on the flank is going to cause some problems and maybe thwart this plan. Watch out as well for Vice. Spike is down, and it does hurt the Sage a little bit, but this is going to give them an opening to try and take site. Watch out for Caboose. With that rocket, if anyone tries to get inside, I would imagine that he's going to pop that. But Tens also has that in response to Caboose. He cannot die. Akis, big kill for him. Caboose looking to cause more problems, still in the corner, and then Tens is just going to swing there against him. Now leaving just Calypso in a 1v2. He knows where one is going to be in the second one as well, but Tens had the mark on him. They had the knowledge, and that is going to give C9 that round win. A great retake from Cloud9.
Yeah, that really was. That was really impressive, just to see how they kind of spaced out the utility. We have to also, draw attention to the Ice Orb that came in from C9, because that second Ice Orb, we saw the first one at the beginning of the round, that second Ice Orb stopped the entire team from being able to move behind the Jet. And the Jet with the dash, Mame with that play, with the Blaze Storm, that's to create space for the entire team, draws all the fire, but the entire team couldn't get back there to back up Mame. Mame gets taken down by Vice, which allows him to hold onto position, allows the Sage to drop a wall, and they handled it so well.
I love that nano bot, by the way. Ooh, and I like that shot even more. All right, Mitch, there we go. Light it up. Trying to bring C9 into this one.
I actually like the Killjoy over the Jet quite a lot, because on this map, there's a lot of spots where if you're as confident as Mitch is with the operator, you can just passively have the operator in certain spots where the Jet might actually challenge. And now Jet's out of the picture, and you have all this Killjoy utility to back yourself up with to give you all these options defensively. Oh, looking for the res.
Oh, he's going to go for the T. No, I was about to say, does this madman go for the teleport?
Oh my god.
Relix is now going to be trapped on this position, but it'll slow this one off.
No, Relix is doing it for the Bromans. He's on the ice wall behind the dark cover.
Oh, but Calypso got behind him and he gets the kill. Oh, this is actually going to cause a little bit of a problem here for Relix, who's pushed really far up. And he's going to run into one. Mitch should not have the time to respond to that shot, and then he's going to get pushed forward. Shinobi has no other choice but to revive Tens and bring him back into the fight. Tens is going to get stuffed there by the snipe from Mummy. Mummy's been on fire with that snipe, looking for the last one as well. And that will do it as Envy recover after that start. Credit to C9 for taking space and forcing Envy into a bad position, but Calypso opened up that round for his team by TPing to the back of screens.
So the TP was so smart too, because in seeing the forward presence around the A ramp position after that initial exchange, he's banking on the fact that this position is completely empty because of all that forward aggression, and he was totally right. And so he just teleports into the one spot that was available. That's so smart. Great intuition there.
And they knew at the beginning of the round, too, that Mitch had snipe on top of a ramp. So there's no way that Mitch, at this point, who's looking at his teammate Relics, maybe hoping that he can support him or maybe trade out the kill. Everything about that round was great. Calypso just made a big brain play there. And they are able to tie this bad boy up. What a game this has been so far in Split.
And you've got to wait that dark cover out before you go into the mid play, and this is very dangerous. Tenz is out there. We know that he loves to be able to make plays like this. Oh, he drops off, gets caught by Akis, and that's a big loss early on for C9. In fact, they will also lose a player towards B there. The wall does go up, but there's no res available to pick that player back up. Caboose.
That was just a reactive wall. Reactive wall just to stall things out.
Mitch has to deliver big here. This could be a free one. Oh no, you have to hit those.
Rare.
You have to hit those. That might just be the round. That could have been them coming back into the round, but instead it's looking grim. Relic still was something to say, but they are so stretched out right now.
Yeah, and that paranoia, too, he used it maybe in an attempt to try and stop this aggression that could be coming from the A ramp, but it ends up not connecting with anything. Relic, still going to be alive. And remember, yesterday, he was the individual that saved Cloud9 against Sentinels numerous times here on Split. The individual plays were absurd, but it doesn't happen this time around. Shinobi was in a position to try and stop it, but Akis stuffs it immediately.
That was so close for both Relics. I mean, they're all coming out the dark cover. They're all lining up. I feel like there's a world there where they somehow recover. Relic's doing a great job here, but this shot, a player is walking into your operator angle. That you cannot miss those shots, and that's really unfortunate for C9. Mitch looked great yesterday. Couldn't miss a single shot, but a slower start from him so far today, and Envy are taking full advantage. That said, it is 5-4, so Envy should be good for the 6-4, given that they're against the eco round now, but this is still a close game.
And Cloud9 are very scary on the eco. So Finesse's camera, and then Mummy's watching his back here, so they remove the camera out. Mummy is going to drift back over to this other position here toward the cubby on the right side of A lobby. Two players on the outside. Mummy managed to pick one up here. He's going to have Finesse to back him up, which he does so successfully. Two players are down. Third one there because Caboose nails it. A challenge coming in this time around from Shinobi, but those shots with the Sheriff are not going to be good, and they'll also benefit from getting that orb too. So that macro battle of them winning the A site was great. The micro battle for Tenz to get the orb that much closer to the showstopper. Everything in this round that Envy could possibly want has been working out to their benefit.
Yeah, looks really good on the finish here. Nobody's been dropped, so that's a huge element that was C9 were looking for. Just get some damage in, get some pressure onto the Envy players, but
and he's got showstopper.
It feels it's just such a world of difference as well in terms of just the kind of emotional component. If Envy won that round, but they lost 3 players, there's a lot less confidence that's building, and they right now 5 players surviving, you feel a lot more dominant. But moving into this next one, we do have the lockdown available for C9, and I wonder if they'll opt to use it. Obviously, the Killjoy is playing towards heaven for C9. And they really need to be able to get to that 6-6, because Envy are looking damn good today so far. Yeah. Really impressed by them.
Which continues to puzzle me on the start on Ascent.
Yeah.
It really does. Hey, but we all have those bad halves, so can't really take much away from that. And I'm sure Envy, they're very satisfied with how this is all panned out for them. Now we get a bit more of a spread and some utility being used here.
They're trying to find the cam here, and they know there's a cam here somewhere.
And they haven't gotten it yet because it's in the wrong location. It's on the wall right above the fence, the gate.
And that cam, you want to activate it again once it's right now. See that 1 minute-ish timing when you feel as though the mid-take, the delayed mid-take's coming in the mid-round, and you get that info that no one's there, which tells you it's less likely to be a B split, and that there's more likely there's so many players, a lot of players towards mid. And it also causes a rotation because you're also suspicious of a lurk towards A ramp.
Just more time being stalled out here as all the members of Envy are going to try to take control here of B main. Now that this or B tower, I should say. Now that this has actually come through, here comes the showstopper. Vice is going to wait this one out. He does manage to pick up 1 kill, looking for the second. Gets the third. Oh, what a big play there from Vice. He's just going to stop that completely, forcing the res, delaying things further. Relix is now going to be in a position to make something happen here as he sends a Paranoia out, and they'll now have to scramble to make this play happen, but there goes the detain. The lockdown is in effect. As Cloud9, they can actually come back and take this one away from Envy, and it all started because of Vice's great start. Relix on the outside gets that 1 kill. Mummy, though, could be a problem. Misses the shot. He gets thrown in his face, but Mummy had blades to deal with it. And Cloud9, what a recovery, but that round belonged to Vice.
That's so awesome, Vice with the 3K there. Envy outplayed C9 in that sense because they go for the 5-man contact in the mid round up to B heaven, and we talked about it. Envy were looking for the cam in B main. They know they have to kill that cam, but they couldn't find it, and they didn't want to give the info, just start spraying the walls. And so when that mid cam activates and nothing's in B main, you're not worried about a B split if you're C9. We saw that C9 rotated everyone towards A because they think it's guaranteed at that point to be an A hit, and they were out of position. If not for Vice with that heroic 3K, C9 do not win that round ever, and they never get in time to rotate and get the killjoy ult either. So that was such a heroic
Beautiful
play.
play, man. That was just gorgeous.
And Envy did the right thing. It's just so cool to see.
Yeah, like that just was again a reflection on what happened yesterday, where the individuals. I think we spent so much time, and rightfully so, on the utility and what we should see from these players, but it's also about the guns and how these players are able to be effective and sneaky in their positions.
Yeah, and Vice also waiting and hold with the trigger discipline.
It gave them safety too.
Yeah, and it also meant that the players coming behind the raise were not expecting someone to be there because they expected that would have been cleared already. So one small oversight cost Envy that round despite playing it correctly.
Because if he killed the Raze instantly, they all swing and they kill him, right? As soon as the Raze comes into the site. Now, he took a gamble, too, because he could have gotten blown up.
Exactly, yeah. So there's a mistake from Envy that allowed Vice so much there, as well as his skill. And Envy sort of just resetting now after showing presence around the map. And C9 are more defensive here. C9 do have a res as well, so that's something that I like that they're not playing on the A site because it allows them to fight for heaven control, and if they can retake, if they get on the retake, that actually allows them to get a res as well.
Yeah.
So
if that player's on A too far, you don't get the opportunity to be able to bring him back.
Exactly. Oh, this is a pretty good read from C9. Here comes the A play.
We're going to go for this. Here comes the Paranoia. Oh, it's going to connect. He's going to try and juke him around, but it didn't work out. And now Finesse is going to get all that information. Shinobi's got to stay alive here. Manages to get 2 kills as Calypso jumps right into the crossfire there as well as he was trying to kill Mummy, which he successfully gets both of them. Spike has to go down. They're in no position. That's it. That's the round. It's done. 6-6 going into the half. All that time wasted.
Yeah, we know that both teams love to run the clock down. Didn't work out for Envy in that instance, and we indeed 6-6. I mean, I need a third map out of this series.
I do too.
Alex, I don't know about
so, mostly because I want to keep commentating.
Exactly.
Valorant, yeah.
So hopefully we can get that. That's what I'm rooting for, despite the C9 prediction from both of us. So we'll see if that is going to be the case. And
well, I want C9 to win this, so that we can go to Game 3, and then our predictions come true.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't let Potter and Lex have all the success, you know.
Well, let's see exactly how this one plays out. Envy, they have a lot of different options. They could decide to be really passive, as we've seen on pistol rounds typically from both teams. They have decided to play quite passive on Ascent as well as a similar story. So do we get any B main shenanigans? Indeed, here goes the jump across just to get some info, the bait. And they have to respect that they catch a couple bullets there. And C9 have B main control. And so this is going to be an A retake setup here for Envy. They're just relying on their sniper Finesse just to be sitting there and getting all the info. So Finesse is really good at that. And so they're praying that they can sell a B commit here from C9. They really want C9 to go B into this stack. So maybe that kill, it might actually convince them to do just that, given that they've taken down the Sage towards B.
So they've committed all these bodies here on B side. So now they continue to wait this one out. Also on the lurk too, we got Vice working A. He continues to. All right, so the camera
the
gets
cam.
taken out. Yeah, that broken cam now. I think it's going to give him the cue to go ahead and make this push happen. Cabuso waiting up on top of the high ground. He's going to get the support from Mame as well, and now they're going to force them back. But they have managed to get some work done here. That is going to be great for them. They take out Caboose. And they've thinned out these numbers here, giving C9 the advantage. And they're also safe. The heavens are wide open. They'll go ahead and send this right over. And the only player they have to deal with will be FNS, who's hanging out here on A.
Yeah, and this is just why you have your Cypher luck. Gives you options. And Finesse, they know that he plays these positions. They know exactly where he is. So it's just not a concern. He gets run over here, and this is going to be a very difficult retake. And Vice is just right out there. Speaking of Cyphers, is able to also tag Calypso down critically low. Mitch will finish him off. Great rotation from C9 again. It just goes to show you why it's so important to give yourself options depending on what happens, and that luck gave all the options necessary.
That luck was the entire round for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know that it's not so bad to have a lurk there, because there's also is somebody on that A site. So as long as Vice doesn't die with his lurk, and that's kind of the part of the mastery of it, then you know that you're kind of going 1 for 1 there. You have that kind of situation. So, you know, and that's a player that if they committed to B, Vice can cut off Finesse. So it's not like he's wasted.
Exactly. His importance in the round is just so present. Kills the camera, puts some fear into Finesse. Like, everything about the way that they played that was just spectacular top to bottom. So the early wall here plays out, and you know, I don't know how I necessarily feel about this early wall, but it will give them an opening to try and take control of ropes. And that was a smart nade too to clear that out. Oh, the bait wall. We've seen this a lot this weekend.
Yeah, you want to try to force. You know that Envy in this situation doesn't have much utility because, I mean, oh, the judge. Oh god, the judge! It's so scary, and you can't push this angle now. There's no way in hell you can push that. I was gonna say, like, you know that the opponents don't have much utility in a round like this, so you use yours to bait out theirs, and you'll still have some left whilst they'll deplete everything. And that's the idea.
You know what? I stand corrected. That wall to give him the presence inside now. The alarm bot will be a problem, but Calypso's position's awesome, and then Caboose as well. So this spike's going to go down. It's going to tell them exactly where they're going to need to be. And as Caboose just flies up, this Mitch still manages, though, to get the kill, despite his best efforts, making this into a 2v3 in favor, though, of Envy, the defense. They're going to have to play retake here. Mitch is very weak, and then Relics in this corner where we saw Vice get that amazing 3K beforehand. He's going to play this one out.
And there's also where Relic's got an insane 2K clutch yesterday against Sentinels as well. So
That's true.
He is fully loaded there. He's got the Spectre in hand, ready to go full HP, full armor, awaiting his opponents. Mitch being the bait here. See if Mitch can get some damage and delay. So this gives Relics some information.
He's so worried about this Heaven player. Oh, he's got a lot of work there. He put a lot of bullets. He needed to kill that person quicker. That gives Akis all the freedom to try and push in, and they delayed it as much as they possibly could, but given the fact that Mitch was so weak, he really had no comfort area that he can actually play around to try and benefit from some of these players pushing this site. This right here, I mean, Calypso, never expect the judge up from high.
Yeah, the force buy there really owned them. You know, they didn't, I don't think, spend absolutely everything, but the judges, as you say, if you can put them in the right positions with the right kind of agent, they can be absolutely devastating, and especially given that a lot of teams will try to keep Ghosts and they'll be playing Spectres, where if you're in those close angles, the judge absolutely just destroys those kinds of weapons. So we'll see if there's something that C9 can recover with. They'll go for an explosion onto the A site, a contact play. You can see they're not making any noise, they're not throwing any utility. They want the minimal warning possible for the defending team so that they are at disadvantage on rotations.
Cyber Cage is there as well. Also, you asked me earlier if we've seen any Guardians. We have a Guardian in play right now from TenZ. Just a little thing like that. Oh, look at this here. That's going to have to wait for the moment as Mame is playing around this corner. And a lot of activity happening now by that A ramp. Do they decide to full commit to this one as Caboose is going to try and hold them back? They're playing this angle out. They're just stalling it for the time being. Shinobi has his Guardian, which a lot of damage you can put out with that thing. Hands of the right person actually does apply some damage, but will be tailwinding out of there. They know that they're still going to be in that area, But they have the numbers. They don't need to push now. And C9, they need to make this play happen. And they're going to go right into this judge of Caboose, who's in this off angle. He could probably get 1 kill out of this if they decide to commit.
Yeah, it's a really huge problem for C9 here. Trying to work out what they want to do. They're just holding off because they're suggesting that they could have rotated out. Envy, of course, though, they have Calypso there on the mid position who is able to spot if there is a rotation, unless it was all the way through spawn. So C9 now walking in after that huge delay, 20 seconds to get the spike down. They are going to have to deal with horrible crossfires.
Either way you cut it, they're going to go right into the fray. Relics, though, does manage to get a kill. So I think they might be okay with that. But here comes Calypso. Gets 1, looking for the second. This should be pretty easy pickings for him, and he's successful in that. So a double kill to end out that round, giving Envy the lead once again. But this close match continues.
Indeed. And it's really blow for blow between these two teams. You know, picking up the pistol, losing the following round is always so painful. And we'll have to see exactly if there's any shenanigans here for C9. Again, it always feels like they are able to find value in these rounds. In fact, this is the first time I feel like we don't see 10s on the Sheriff. Okay, there we go.
He got it.
All right, almost.
Even though he ain't Reyna, he's still going to use the Sheriff. Because he gets kills, he also gets more paint shells.
Yep, very true. Boombot versus Boombot. The robot wars, as you say.
Drone wars, but that also that's BattleBots. That's BattleBots.
Ah.
It was another show. We really like to make robots.
We had robot wars in the UK though. Maybe there's like a different name for the same show.
See, you know, us Americans and British, you know, we're so similar. We just like to see robots
it's fun,
beat each other up. It's great.
3 in B main there for C9. With the typical lurk towards A. Just again, they know that this is a difficult round for them. They want to make sure that they can get as much information as possible early on, not showing their hands just yet. Again, the 1 minute timing is when you typically see the mid takes come through. It's fairly reliable with most teams. That's why we see as well as a response to the dark cover, we see the ice orb.
Nanoswarm to clear out Mail. They've collected the spike over toward the A side, and I think now with the 39 seconds and counting remaining, this is where they're going to commit. Akis is going to get blown up. Can he get away from it? He does, and he's able to heal himself. Paranoia also doesn't land a single target, but Relixo swings it, gets the kill. Akis is going to slow things down with the slow orb, but on the lurk, Finesse will find his mark. Vice dies, and they're going to have to swing this. They have no other choice. 2 players remaining. Maybe they try and invest a res here. I don't think that's really going to happen. Mame with a Guardian's going to get forced down into a position. Can actually land these shots, but because you only have 1 person left, Finesse with a Phantom will win that one 9 times out of 10. And then Envy managed to just climb their way into this, and they'll be within, or they'll get 2 now over C9 in its current state.
And yesterday in Sentinels, C9 played a really slow style on the attacking side, and it was very effective. It put Sentinels in lots of awkward positions. However, C9, I don't know if they will be able to pull out the same shenanigans against Envy here. One of the features of Sentinels that they had to try to combat this was they would have Shazam on the operator on Jet
I was
mid.
going to say that, yeah.
And that's like a key difference here between Envy and Sentinels and how they're playing their defense.
You're so right. They don't... Shazam's like mid presence was like even here when C9 would use the turret to then give them information but then swing to maybe get the kill against Shazam. You're not going to get that against Envy because that's not where Mame plays. That's not how Mame plays. He'll just hold an angle a little bit more consistently and then rotate with the team when need be. They'll instead just use Sage Wall to create some more stall and delay things.
And right now, C9, they've left a couple players in B main here. They're looking for, because their timing is slower. They haven't gone to mid-take around the 1 minute mark when they typically do. Instead, they're just going to contact into the B side. They're going to try to surprise Envy here.
And there goes the wall to block off. Ooh, lockdown being used now. This is an opportunity for them to potentially play around this here.
Ooh.
Caboose is going to get out of there. No one's going to get tagged, but is this their opportunity to go in for the push? Calypso also was not going to get tagged by that, so the Paranoia is going to force all of them back. They also use the orb. They're still going to be committing to this, and even then, though, they managed to dink and do some damage against the Raze that was going to be up on the high ground. Ake is still waiting for them. Calypso doesn't fall down. Caboose gets a few kills on the outside here on top of the scaffold. leaving only one player left alive. It's TenZ, but one player left alive could actually be a problem. He is surrounded. He doesn't have time. He needs to get this spike down, but the spike is going to be too far away from him. You can't push this. There's no way you push this against TenZ. Even though he's 33 HP, he still has to make the play. He does not have the spike, and Envy will get their 10th round win, entering double-digit territory. And that was just a great play by Mame. He did not push that fight. There was no reason for him to do it.
And some people might be questioning, why did they place the wall in the way that they did? Because, normally the wall would go, allow them towards the back side and make, some cover as they run out from B Heaven.
Yeah.
But instead the wall kind of blocked off default and the back side. And the reason is because the Killjoy ult doesn't hit the back corner, and so they wanted to just spill out and wrap around the site and take those duels with the Killjoy ult, making sure that Heaven wasn't going to be there wasn't going to be any players there to shoot them because of the Killjoy ult. So it didn't work out because of the stall. Envy's stall was just so good there, and C9 had no time to reset, so they had to commit. And
to make matters even worse here for Envy, 5 ultimates are going to be online for Envy. Showstopper Blades, they'll have a res as well, Neurotheft TP maybe to get information or to rotate when they need to. Now Aegis has taken this position yet again. Last time they did this, an alarm bot was placed by Mitch. There it is. He's going to kill that instantly. It's going to give them an ability to swing it, but no one was there to try and respond. Although Shinobi did manage to make it inside, and then TenZ, he looked to make a heroic play inside of that ropes. It ends up not working out for him. Shinobi, though, swings by, does get the kill. Mame has that lane guarded, controlled. It belongs to him. He's not really going to be too concerned about that, as now this just leaves a potential double kill here for Caboose, who's expecting maybe another player on the outside. The satchel does do some damage. If he spams through this dark cover, he'll get it, but instead it's going to be Relics. He knows that someone was going to be playing with inside of that, which now means that Relics at 24 HP. He's in a critical state here with no real options.
He has the ult though, so they've got to be careful about, he could potentially ult. He's going to commit to the plant though inside the dark cover, tries to make his way through the spawn, but he will get discovered. And I'm actually surprised that C9 didn't opt to use the Resurrect in mid.
I think maybe because it's a pistol, and there was I think they'd want to save that for guns so that if they get the economy flip, they can turn this game around. It's not like it's impossible.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those spots where I feel like it wouldn't have been bad to do it, and I can definitely see the arguments to save it too. And Aegis is really killing it right now. 21 for 10, I think that was. So a couple missed shots here from C9. I think that kill from Aegis was amazing.
Yeah.
Onto the Raze. That was really one of the most important plays. I think if they get the kill there straight away in ropes, I think the res does come out because they could win the round off of that.
And they also have a gun now too.
Yeah. So really important round. Envy have been dominating on this second half. We're going to see the cages go over the top again. Those double cages, pretty much every round we're seeing those. And C9 going for a much quicker pace around mid control, looking to pressure out this Sage utility early on.
And they're going to need to, because the Sage util has been a problem. Calypso got the read. He saw the gun. There goes the wall. And what's even worse about that was it killed the Sage, so they do not have their res to try and bring this one back in their favor. Envy are so close to match point, moving on to the grand finals here. Pop flash, Calypso though, another shot. Big kill there for him.
And this is the problem, going into some of these angles without just dry.
Such a pretty spot. Oh, never mind. Okay, so now things have opened up. Neural Theft will give them information. They know exactly where these players are going to be. They're going to commit to this. They're going right for it. And then, okay, I was going to say, did they actually just stick that TP? Ends up not doing it. So he goes in for the TP, tells them, okay, we're all going to be making a lot of noise over here, clearing a bunch of utility, but they don't take the bait entirely. But Caboose, though, will die as Relics will swing that and get the kill. This is a very winnable round now for Cloud9.
Yeah, this is turning into something with a lot of potential. Aegis has been fantastic. The TP will be cancelled as the B site has been taken over, and post-plant positions don't look amazing. They're all stuck around the back pillar. We'll have to see if they can hold on to this with just the raw skill and the gunplay. Mame's popped the daggers as well.
He's got too much to work with, Mame. He's got a tailwind, updraft. He's got everything. He's going to fly in. He gets one. Can't get the second, though. Relics is there for the trade. They're going to be stuck in the back. They know exactly where the Omen is going to be located here. Akis does manage to pick up the first kill. Now the next player, the last one, Vice, he got dinked. He's down to 10 HP. He has to delay it as much as he can, but it isn't going to work out. And while it did look good, DDK, the post-plant positioning, they just didn't have time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a really good attempt from C9. I think, you know, looking back at the round, there's some of the kills coming in. You know that Envy are playing Mame on the operator, and so that's something that you have to respect. And one of the things that's difficult in this game is having enough flashes. You can see the swing at the barrel of the gun gave Mame the expectation that or Calypso, sorry, that there was a kill coming his way, and
it was double up, right?
Yeah.
They ran 2 snipes, but then also I think the other thing that really affected their post plant was the TP. As soon as Relics comes in, and even though he doesn't commit to it, obviously, that was just a pure information play. They now know exactly where they're going to be, so they just gave him no room to breathe, and they suffocated him, at the end of it all. Match point.
One of the reasons why I love Breach so much is just like his ability to displace operators, because the double operators are very difficult to deal with just, let's say, like only the one flash from Omen, and then that's it. But Breach has, you know, basically 4 abilities that can actually displace an operator, which is huge. That is like one of the values of Breach in his operator meta, is 4 abilities, one that recharges to displace operator players. But going into the current situation here, Envy could be taking this series and moving to the finals against Sentinels, who I'm sure are waiting and watching with bated breath as we see C9 back to the defaults, sitting in B main for a while. They don't have the cages towards the A side of the map, actually.
And instead, they're going to be bringing the lurk over here. Now Calypso, there goes the wall out. It's going to send him back. Calypso does disengage from this. Just plays the paranoia, which I think that they're going to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's a huge win, actually, baiting out some of the utility. I think an ISO paranoia.
And there's no traps to stop them.
They're clearing out ropes, too. That's good. Clear out the ropes utility. Keep Envy guessing. Oh, the rockets coming out.
Ooh, traded kills there. Both the raises are going to go down. Akis, he had an angle, but he had to disengage. They only have a few seconds now to work with. This is, once again, the dangerous territory for Cloud9, as Akis has so much freedom here, but he is going to get stuffed. Calypso, though, in the back. They'll get this spike down eventually, but it boils down to this kill here that Midge managed to get, but that's the game! That's the game! As Mummy swings the corner, they can't get the spike down in time, and Envy will be going on to the grand finals to face off against Sentinels.